It's almost February here in Michigan, and we got our hands on Milwaukee's new dual battery 17-inch string trimmer. This guy excites me for two reasons. First, I always recommend if you're going to get a battery operated string trimmer, go with one made by a tool platform. That way you can use those batteries with hundreds of other tools and it makes it worthwhile. Two, this Milwaukee string trimmer has a peak of 2.5 horsepower. My Stihl FS 131R is 1.9 horsepower. This guy should be more powerful than that, and I think that's going to be huge. Let's dive into this guy and see what it's got. If you buy the kit for $699, this is what's inside the box. You do get a nice 2-battery Milwaukee charger for M18s. This is also available, bare tool, $399. I'd highly suggest getting it in the kit because you're getting the two 8-amp-hour batteries. Now, thankfully, this was sent to me by Milwaukee and Acme Tools, so it saves us a little bit of money on that purchase, but I'm still going to go through this guy top to bottom and show you what you might expect. First, from the head to the back of the trigger is 58.25 inches. So if you're wondering if this is going to work for you, if you're a taller person, measure out your string trimmer basically right to the front of the head, back to the back of the handle, 58.25. To the kind of middle part where you should be hitting the trigger, it is approximately 54.75 of an inch to the back of that trigger. That is going to give you an idea of how it's going to work for you for your height. When you pull this guy out, there is a little bit of assembly to do, not too much. We're going to go through that and hit that up quickly. Now this will all come assembled in with the string trimmer line in here, but I wanted to show you the head and how easy it is to load. There is a bump feed on the bottom. You have these circles that are going to help with a little bit of the wear. This is not overly thick, but this is replaceable, obviously, if you continue to bump feed and wear through this. This is Milwaukee's speed load head. You can see there is a hole in the center where these red lines line up and you feed everything through and then twist. A very easy to use head, easy to take apart, easy to put back together. So we basically line this up, take our line. It holds up to 25 feet of line, which is probably closer to the 0.080 line, which is what this is. You can go upwards of the 105 line, which Milwaukee makes, and that's going to be awesome because this is going to have the power to use that line, and I think that would be a better choice than this for most people. So what we're going to do is take and have this line, we're going to want it centered. And that's going to be a little bit more difficult with how this line is all set up. If you're putting new line on here and you have the opportunity, take it and soak it in water overnight. That'll help the line to absorb some of that water, and it will then last longer because dry line actually frays. So all we do here, get this line out of our way, is spin. And that's going to load this up. It's a little bit of a mess when this line is so twisted, but that is it. Also, a bonus on this head, you do have a bolt on this side that you can remove and put some grease in here. That is part of the maintenance schedule, so I think that's important to do, and not a lot of these string trimmers all come with that. If we flip over to the bottom, this is where we're going to connect our guard. This guard can be changed with the line cutter to be at 15 inches or 17 inches. Right off the bat for us, it's a no-brainer. We're going to 17, but obviously if you want longer battery runtime, keep it at 15. Those guys were tight. Look at the amount of Loctite that's in here, and that's good. You can see it on the bolt also, but that makes it a little bit harder to get these out. So just take your time and they will come. From there, we're just going to install this guard, but if you can't feel the weight of this guard and the heft of it, and I mean, you need to pick this up. This is not just any old guard. It is not flimsy. It is a strong guard. I think that's going to be a huge plus for this in build quality. With that on, we have everything assembled here in the head. Now we can move back up towards the motor of the machine. So up front, we have a handle. We're going to drop one of these pieces in here. This is going to go like that. 2 screws going to pop in. Place handle here. Obviously, that's going to be adjustable. We also have this piece, which has an 8mm bolt. So that's going to help out if you have an 8mm wrench. This is going to go over this guy. So we'll bend that out slightly, pop it in, bend it back in, and we have a small handle that is going to be basically used for the strap. That strap is probably because of the extra weight of the batteries, or possibly because maybe it's a little off balance with 2 batteries. We don't know that yet, but the strap is there and it should be kind of nice to have. So it's going to sit pretty sweet up in there. I like how it looks. It's a nice little piece of metal that doesn't detract from anything. I thought it was odd they give you tools for everything else except this, which basically you have your Allen wrench or your Torx bit, but you don't have the actual wrench. Again, 8mm, we're just gonna tighten this guy up. For the handle, I'm actually gonna place this underneath and let it sit here while I get everything together. This will make it a little bit easier in total to put this on, just to get things lined up. Once it's snug, we can then switch it around, line it up where we want it, as per where they have it, kind of make sure it's level. Then it's an easy flip and tighten. So I wanted to bring in the Milwaukee Quick Lock and take a quick look at it. The heads look designed very similar. They're obviously not. There's some differences. The 17-inch dual battery head looks a little bit more beefy, but all in all, it's pretty much the same. A little bit different design also in the guard. It's a lot more beefy on the dual battery. But what I found odd was that the grip on the Quick Lock goes back. You can see I can put my hand back behind the safety here. They basically have close to the same safety. There's much more room for my hand. Now on the dual battery 17-inch, I cannot. It is actually a smaller handle than what is on the Quick Lock. So if I take this and it's really hard to kind of come up with a place to start because the handle goes forward and it's just a different design. But if we go basically here from the head back to the beginning of the handle, we're looking at 51 3/4 inches. And then to the back of the handle, we're looking at 56 1/4. If we come over to the Quick Lock and do the same thing, beginning of the handle is going to be 52 inches. And then even if we go to the end of the rubber, we're at 57 3/4. End of the handle is going to be 58 to 58 1/4. So it surprised me a little bit that the Quick Lock is actually going to be longer and maybe fit people who are a little bit taller better. I'm a little bit over 6'3", and when I put this one down, I'm on an angle. This is the Quick Lock, and it would be nice if I was 6 inches shorter to really get in the right area. I don't feel that it's too short for me, although I wouldn't mind it if it was 3 or 4 inches longer. I do find some of the gas models I use to be slightly longer than this. If I take the dual battery, there is a definite weight difference that you feel. I feel the same way. I wish this was just slightly longer. I don't like to hang everything down. I find sometimes that I'll end up bending over. But with that said, to get this level, I'd have to bend over significantly. I won't use it that way, but wish it was just a touch longer. All right, let's get into some interesting topics. I have everything set here, 2 batteries in this. We have a turtle mode and a rabbit mode. In rabbit mode, we are 0 to 6,500 RPM. In turtle mode, we are 0 to 4,900 RPM. It gets there very quickly. And there is a huge difference. You can hear it, I can hear it, I can almost feel it. There's no vibration here, which is nice. But 6,500, 6,400 RPM is a big difference between that and 4,900 RPM. The Stihl, a gas mower, is going to go upwards of 7,150 RPM. So that's going to be similar to the difference between low and high as we move up to a gas unit. Now, being around this for a while and listening to people talk about battery operated stuff, and a lot of people saying, hey, you know, battery operated stuff is lighter, easier to use. This with the batteries, 16.5 pounds, and you feel it. There's some weight and heft here. If we just hang on to it at the center point of the handle, it is off balance. If we try to pick it up right where that attachment's gonna go, it's going to put us perfectly down, basically, where things would be sort of balanced for it to be down. 16.5 pounds is a good amount of weight to carry around, and which is why they probably have this shoulder strap in here. A comparable Stihl FS 131R is going to be 12 pounds full of fuel. That's a big difference, 4 pounds when we look at this. So the gas powered is going to have more RPM, maybe less horsepower. We can't really figure that out at this point in the middle of winter. This might have the torque to get through things a little better, but it's going to weigh less. And if you're doing a lot of string trimming, 4 pounds is a lot more to carry around. Trigger on this is absolutely insane. As you could hear it going through there, it is perfect. It is similar to a gas, but it is on par, and as soon as you touch that throttle and the trigger, that thing is rocking and rolling. That is one thing I will give it. This area here just in front of the trigger is amazing. When you pull the trigger, boom, it's going to tell you that you are in rabbit mode with the white light, and the red lights are the fuel meter of the batteries. You do need 2 batteries to run this. This is going to be 36 volt. You cannot run it with 1 battery, and you should run this with higher amp hour batteries. This is going to draw some significant power, and you don't want to heat up those smaller batteries. If we pull out 1 battery here, you can see that it still lights up, but it will not run. Pop that battery back in. We are ready to go. From the little bit of use that I've had with this unit in the shop with you, I noticed one big improvement, and that is the lack of any vibration throughout the RPM range. That is something with some of the other Milwaukee stuff that they had out that had some vibrations at different RPM ranges, and to me it was a little bit of a turnoff. That is completely fixed with this model. There is none, although we need to get it out and work it a little bit. I don't feel that this is going to have hardly any of the vibration of the other units. The weight, on the other hand, is here, and that is something that you'll notice right off the bat when you pick this up. I think this is made of some great materials, but you can't get over the fact that you have a very large motor in the back that's turning this, and you have some things here that are going to flex, but at the same point they need to flex, but they're not going to overly flex while you're using it. I think that all the materials here are good, high quality materials, and that most people are going to find this to be an excellent machine that weighs a little bit more than some of the gas machines. I can't speak about runtime under load. We have 2 8 amp hour batteries on here. You could upgrade to the HD12s. That would add even more weight. I don't know that that's something that you really want to do, but if you needed the runtime, you could add 1, I guess, but it's going to drain both these batteries very similarly. What I really dreamed this would come with was 2 Forge 6.0 amp hour batteries. I think these are a little bit lighter, and they carry that oomph that you might need to push this through some of the thicker stuff a little bit better. Maybe not, we'll have to see on that, but I think these would have made an awesome kit, especially if the price stayed at $699 for the kit. Now let's talk about that price. Stihl is going to be, the FS 131R is going to be somewhere around $500. This is going to be closer to $700 with the batteries, but the plus on this is that you can use these batteries year-round anywhere else if you'd like to, and if you happen to have the dual battery blower, which is pretty sweet, You might have 4 batteries, then you can invest more in some of the Milwaukee tools, get into some of the things they have there. And I think that is a huge option for most people. The fact that you can use these batteries all over the place, not just on outdoor power equipment, is amazing to me. I think that's great. Having the rapid charger that comes with this is another benefit. This charger rocks. Same charger comes with the dual battery blower, and I can't say enough good about it. It does have fans in it, lots of great stuff. Costs at $6.99. Normally I would tuck my head and run once we get up into that area. But overall, I can say that with the 2 batteries, I don't think that that's a horrible price, and I'm interested in your opinions in the comments. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but yet it does. Even the other gas-powered ones at $500 seems like a lot of money for a string trimmer, but at the same point, the benefits you're getting here with batteries, not horrible. $399 bare tool seems expensive. That's why I would highly recommend you move up. So let's look around for some deals. I will put some links in the description to where I found this. Right now, this is going to probably be basically at MSRP just about everywhere with some free shipping. So take a look at the links below. You can find this at your local Home Depot. I see they have many of them out there. It's a big box, so be prepared if you're putting it in a car to jiggle things around and figure out where you're going to fit it in. She's a big one. Guys, comments below. Give us a like in this video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.